Thank you guys. Welcome to the Rimm-PODCAST, episode 10. This is the Iggy, and I'm your host. Today we have a really special guest, personal injury attorney Michael Adams. Thank you, sir, for coming to the show.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. This is the podcast. Either you're a lawyer like Michael Adams, attorney, the politicians, businessman, entrepreneur, or leader who comes within the community to care and share. We'll have a beautiful story today about what it takes to become a great attorney in the land of Central Florida and further. I have my first question for an audience. You've been serving in the military.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for giving us a freedom to fight for us and having us peace here, not just here but worldwide.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, can you share with us how did you end up in the military? Share a little bit your background. Where are you coming from? You are now originally from Florida. You mentioned you're from Michigan.
Yep.
What is your life? Where you went through, so you can share with our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in a small town in Michigan. I had a rough childhood, a situation where the parental rights had to be terminated.
Oh wow.
So through that process, the courts appointed me a lawyer. We call them here, guardian ad litems, but they're there just to make sure that my interests are protected. Turns out that I was that lawyer's first client. His name was Mike, and to a 7-year-old, same name, that's something pretty cool. And he was a young guy, so we remained friends. He always encouraged me, hey, if you go to law school, I'll give you a job. Go to law school. And he knew that the family that adopted me, they weren't much better than the household I left.
Yeah,
so he was kind of like the mentor, the father figure that I never had. So he encouraged me to go to the military, to get away from that environment, get my college paid for, go to law school, and he was always there. So he pushed me in that direction, and I'm glad I did it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good. But basically a mentor, somebody from basically your childhood. And he's your still mentor today?
He ended up passing with colon cancer. Shortly after I just got into law school, so he got to see that portion.
Beautiful. So God bless him for that.
Yeah.
And then you are a great attorney today is because of him.
I think I am. So I try my best to be. He was doing family law, guardian ad litem and stuff. So, but everything he did in his community, I try to carry that on here in Orlando.
Okay. So now I know you're coming from a tough life, struggling. Basically, everybody's struggling, but everybody got their own point. So basically, can you share with an audience what it takes to be who you are today?
Well, everyone's struggles a matter of perspective. Everyone has their own struggles. Everyone deals with them differently. I fortunately had someone there to help me through that process, and a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So I guess where I can take what I do and what my partner does is we can help those people through their struggles.
Okay.
And in this context, it's they've been injured or they've had something really bad happen to them in their life. So we can be that guy, that mentor to help them through that struggle.
So basically, you bring your own personal value and strength while you've been going through your childhood, and then when you turn and being an adult and you turn that and represent the case, it's because of the heart.
Exactly. I guess at any point in my life, I could be like, you know what, screw it, and just went the other direction.
Yeah.
But using those experiences through my childhood, using the experience through the Marine Corps, through leadership, and taking that experience and knowledge and kind of transfer it into what we do now and with our clients.
My another question, because you're military, how much military changed you who you are today?
I think completely. One thing I tell my clients that I was in the initial invasion in 2003, and there's no courtlife I'm scared of because I've been through that, right? So no judge is going to scare me, no other attorney is going to scare me.
Nice, very nice.
So that life experience can translate, and I think that sticks with clients. Like, hey, you're right. He's been through that. Why would he be scared to fight this lawyer, this case? So,
a human being,
right.
just like a verbal conversation between
Exactly.
one human being and that. And you said you've been in the military serving, and thank you for that. An audience will definitely appreciate that. And after that, you go straight to the law school, or you are finished the law school prior to entering to the
No, I went into the Marines 10 days after high school.
Oh, wow.
I did 5 years, and then I got out and I went and got my undergrad in a smaller school in Michigan.
Good. And now you've been practicing for what, over 11 years?
11 years.
You guys opened the office a couple months ago?
Yep, in January.
Congratulations there. Can you share with an audience what type of law you practically do?
We do personal injury. That's our main focus.
Okay.
We do criminal defense. I was a defense attorney. My partner was a prosecutor. So if the right case comes along, we'll help our clients out. Especially if it's an existing client, we're not going to tell them no. They clearly already trust us. We're not going to send them somewhere else if we can handle it. But predominantly, we do personal injury. And that can include auto accidents, semi-trucks, motorcycles, slip and falls.
Okay.
So
that's you specialize in that
Yeah.
field. So my other question: how do you build a trust with the client? What is a specific ingredient that you take that compared to other attorneys? I mean, how do you build trust with them, and why they should trust you, comparing thousands, tens of thousands of attorneys out there?
Well, if it's a brand new client, you build that trust by delivering.
Okay.
You make promises. You tell them, I'm going to call you tomorrow. You call them.
Of course.
You tell them you're going to make these things happen. You make them happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you get that client to trust you, then they'll tell their friends and family. That trust is going to almost parlay into that relationship. They're going to come to you already having some level of trust.
Nice.
So you got to build that trust with the first client, and then it carries on from there.
Okay. And you guys also build a trust, which is the most important thing, within the community.
Yes.
And you guys serve the community probably more than anybody out there, because you guys raise the diapers and wipers for the family who cannot afford, especially after the pandemic. Can you
Yes.
share with us, and you guys, I'm talking about some enormous amount of the wipers and diapers. Can you share with our audience what was the all about? How you guys get involved into that?
Absolutely. There's an organization in Florida called Harbor House of Central Florida.
Okay.
It's an organization that provides shelter for victims of domestic violence.
God bless.
Since I have that history, I joined their Young Professionals Board a couple years ago.
Okay.
What I learned that process is when a child is subjected to domestic violence in that environment, they tend to regress in potty training.
Okay.
So you have toddlers that are 3, 4, 5 years old that are now going back to wetting their pants. So organizations like Harbor House, they don't have the diapers for those children. So John and I decided, we saw an article about how the nation was having a shortage on diapers, and nonprofits were having a shortage. So we thought, let's put together a diaper drive and try to get as many diapers and wipes as we can.
Nice.
So we ended up getting 12,500 diapers
Oh, wow.
and nearly 28,000 wipes.
Congratulations to that.
Thank
man.
you.
Congratulations. That's such a great success
Yeah.
story, that just two people pulling together, and just like two of you guys being able. Imagine like if there's like hundreds people put together, we can do like 120,000.
I know. So
amazing, right?
yeah, we'll do it again next year and
Good.
hopefully get a little bit bigger. But it's crazy how much of the community reached out.
Yeah.
People I don't even know reached out on social media and says we'll be there, and we end up getting hundreds and hundreds of dollars beforehand. People don't even know, saying please go buy it on our behalf. So
Wow.
it was
So
great.
they just basically donate it, so they don't have a time to consume. So
Exactly.
great. Another one, like how do you hope to serve your clients and community moving forward? I know you said it's just not being a lawyer and try to get the client, because every lawyer advertising board, but you're actually guys going into it. And besides, if I'm your client, you take me from A to Z. Can you share that process? Like if I get in an accident.
Yes. So if you look at our website or our business card, it's my cell phone number on it.
Okay.
Or John's cell phone number on it.
Okay.
So we're there from start to finish. I'll be the one coming to you, meeting with you, signing you up. I'll be the one that's working on your case the entire time.
Okay.
When you need something, it's me answering the phone or John.
Oh, good.
So having that direct relationship, direct contact with the attorney is important.
Yes, it is.
And nothing against big firms, and I've been in big firms. Sometimes it's harder. You say, hey, I need my lawyer. Well, he'll get back to you, and that's just the way it is. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's a business.
But that's what makes it a little bit different. Is we try to make sure that we're the only contact for our clients. Because when they call and the case manager answers the phone, the client's always gonna have questions.
Yes.
And the case manager can't answer those questions because they're not lawyers.
Yeah.
So that means that they have to leave a message, which means that they're gonna have to wait for the return call. We try to cut that out.
Okay.
It's just a direct communication.
So no
from the client.
middleman.
No middleman.
It's strictly like your client and you.
Exactly.
Good. Now, like, how often do you see the changes when it comes to, we talk about how do I know as a client I got a fair game? I've been settled fairly. that the lawyer then took an advantage over me and so on and on. So can you share with us, like what do you do for them that I know I'm, as a client, getting a fair game?
Well, it's tough. I can't exactly pull another client's case and say, well, this is what they got in the same situation, because you can't do that.
Yes.
You got to have the client trust you.
Okay.
All right? Now, I can take and show you jury verdicts, but jury verdicts are always going to be different than what you would settle a case for without the need of a trial. It's just the way the nature of the system. So you just have to trust. I know there's websites out there where you can put in, I have a herniation, this is how much I should get.
Okay.
Those exist, they're not accurate.
Okay.
So it all comes down to trust. And I'll tell my clients, here's a number. If you don't, go get a second opinion. Go ask somebody and see what they say. And in reality, some lawyers aren't going to get into it. All right, but I have nothing to hide. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to get you the best result I can. And if I can't, then we'll file a lawsuit and we'll go to trial. That's just the way it is. But it just comes down to that initial trust.
Yes.
If you don't trust me, then this relationship's not going to work, and it shouldn't work. You should go somewhere else if you don't trust me.
So, and that's the main reason I'm seeing a lot of commercials. They just mentioned that you can go on the phone and tap it in a case before and just putting in maybe something, and then they be pretty much giving it an overall estimate. But then on the bottom description they said something total else, and like you said, we don't like to. Basically, that's a hook. Just
it's clickbait.
Yeah, it's a hook bait. So you don't practice that. You don't want to. I know you're really good, reputable an attorney.
Yeah, we tell our clients, like, listen, in Florida, these cases are driven by injury and treatment. Right? The more injured you are, the more treatment you need. The more treatment you need, the more the medical bills go up. These are all variables that will affect the final result. I can't tell you day one what your case is worth. No good lawyer should, because they just don't know. There's too many variables at play.
Yes.
You have to go through the whole process and figure out the totality of all the circumstances before you start doing things like that.
So overall, listening your story, pretty much the reason you are attorney today is because of your personal life, what you went through.
Yes, sir.
And that's something so valuable. When you take my case as a client, possibly basically involve your past, and then you apply in the future. So now, if there isn't any future attorneys out there that you can give a good piece of advice and suggestions, what they should do?
Well, there's a lot of lawyers out there. Make sure it's something that you want to. For me personally, being a lawyer is what I'm passionate about. It's something I always wanted to do from that day. It's tough. The student loans are crazy. But if you're passionate about it, then that's going to translate into the work you do for your clients.
Okay.
All right? Would I recommend law school for someone that doesn't really want to be a lawyer because they're not sure what to do? Maybe not. It worked for me because I'm passionate about it. Okay. I can't speak for everybody, but you got to find a way to make it to be passionate, because it's gonna help your clients. So passion.
Passion is number one, and determination.
Yes.
And that's what you get that basically from military, in intelligence, determination, consistency, persistency, and being on the time.
Right.
And they said just show up, 80% of your job is already done. So my last question, if you have something else that we didn't cover during the podcast, something that you can share with an audience, that's something, good piece of advice and valuable, either you're a client or a future student or somebody looking for something but they have no directions, what that piece of advice would be?
It would be to reach out to someone you trust, someone who you look as a mentor, and take their advice. That mentor relationship is invaluable. They're not going to steer in the wrong way. For me, it has happened to be somebody who was a lawyer. It could be anybody. It could be someone who is in the military. It could be a doctor, because they're the ones that's going to give you the reality of the situation. They're the ones that are going to tell you law school's hard, med school's hard, the MCAT is hard. They're not going to be there to kind of fluff it and make everything sound good and happy. They're going to be real and say this is the reality of these choices. You need to have that mentor. I was lucky to have that mentor. Not everybody does. So if you don't, find one. Find somebody, find someone that you would like to be mentored, and reach out.
Good.
That's what I recommend.
Good. How many mentors should an average person have? As an attorney or as anybody, you should have more than one or not?
It really depends. It's for me. I had one when I was in the military. I had one as a child.
Good.
I have one today.
Good.
So it just depends on where you are in your life, and what your direction, what your path, what your desires are.
Okay, great. So overall, this is our podcast episode 10. Tell our audience, look into the camera and say, listen, this is my cell phone number. If you have anything, call me. I'm different than any other attorney.
Absolutely. Give me a call. It's 616-514-9910. We're there for you. That's my personal cell phone number. I'm sure our website information
Yes.
will be available.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, you're injured in a car accident, you're not sure what to do, give us a call. We'll help you out.
Great. Thank you so much for being our guest. And we are looking forward down the way on the road to shoot a couple other ones on other ideas.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.